Hello! I feel like a crazy person here in my costume by myself. How is everyone? Hope everyone's doing good. I am dressed as Captain Marvel from Avengers. It's a full body suit, and I even have an Infinity Gauntlet. This is like the same jewelry that the Brie Larson who played Captain Marvel and Scarlett Johansson had these at the premiere. And Miss G is Goose, but Miss G has decided to go into bed. So hope everyone is doing well. I'm gonna take this jacket off now because it's like really stiff and warm because I have my hands. This is a little bit big at the back because when I got it last year, I was a lot bigger, so I need to get a smaller one. So how are we all? How are we all doing? It's at least it's Saturday. No, got glitter coming out of my hair. Okay. What I think anyway. I did a recording with Jess and Chris today for Drinks at Dana's. It's probably going to be out on Monday. It's like a roundup episode. It's kind of like my last two videos, like what's right with Gen Q and what's wrong, and the one I did yesterday that's like all the rankings. We just kind of like talked about everything really like openly and like what we thought of the season overall. So I was telling them this morning that so normally on Thursdays I email Showtime and I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on, and ask them if they have an update for season 3 or if anything's going on, and they always respond. And this week they didn't. My eyes are like a little bit uneven. They didn't respond, so I'm kind of thinking that a decision has been made, because it's very unusual that they wouldn't decide, because they wouldn't reply, because they've never not answered me. So, and I also spoke to Marja on Wednesday because it was additional pants, and she didn't say anything either. And I said about season 3. So I don't know. I think maybe there's been a decision made, but they're just not announcing it yet, because things like City on a Hill and stuff, it was about a month afterwards, and we're like 3 weeks since the finale. So I think the announcement's going to come really soon. And it'd probably help if I actually spoke into the mic, wouldn't it? Sorry. I don't have my mic on. Okay, this should be better now. And the visual bit should be crystal clear, because not only is my internet the best it can possibly be, but I bought this like booster and an extender, because my router is in the living room and I'm in the office, it's like upstairs. And I had to get like because I'm on a Mac desktop, so I had to get like a Ethernet cable and the adapter, and then the like boosters plugged in here through the Ethernet, and then downstairs it's plugged into. So I hope that this is good. Okay. Yeah, good. Glad that we like to make upgrades on this channel. So the computer, everything has been upgraded this season. Yeah, I'm glad you guys, because I hope that, because otherwise it's, like, I know it's annoying if it's not good. So yeah, so I don't know if Goose is gonna come back. If you guys haven't seen Captain Marvel, I brought my little thing to show you, and one of my friends got this one for a present once. I have a little raccoon one too, and then Captain Marvel's like sidekick is it's a cat, and in the comic books the cat's called Chewbacca, and then in the movies called Goose. So Miss G is playing Goose this evening, but G is I have the radiators on, so she's got into bed with the blanket like pushed against the radiator. So, oh, good. I'm glad everyone's saying that the picture and everything's clear. Yeah, I made some purchases today, so we should be good. And then it'll be good for the replay too. So anyone watching on replay, thank you for watching. So anyone who's just joined, I said I think the decision's been made about season 3 because Showtime haven't responded to me, and they always respond to me. So and even if like I mainly talk to Marja or this other person at Showtime, and if I ever email them and like they're on vacation or something, I always get like an out of office response, and they normally tell me when they're going away. So yeah, I think we'll hear something really soon. I mean, we talked about this in the Drinks at Dana's episode today, and I really think that we're gonna get season 3, because I would just be so devastated if we didn't. But starting to cover lots of other things on the channel, and I am working on something at the moment. It's like a bigger project video that there is an L word connection, but it's largely about something else. And it's just something I've been really interested in lately, and I think it'll be entertaining. Plus, there is an L word connection to it, which is how I discovered it in the first place. And it's more like I don't know what the word is, like more, it's not like a show or something. Do you think we'll have to wait till August for the first episode? Yeah, I think that's best case scenario, to be honest, because I said last week, the people who work behind the scenes, people who work like on the crew, have told me that they're going back to film, and some of these people told me this like months and months ago, that they are going back February, and then some people said March. So it's hard to know whether like there was actual discussions behind that, or whether it was like assumptions. Or so I think that if they went back in February, it would be because they have to go back to writing first. So last season, this was obviously before the pandemic, they finished November, they wrapped, the series premiered in December, and then they went back to writing in March. So it was like 3 or 4 months afterwards that they went back to writing. So we wrapped October, so it would be November, December. So yeah, like I'd say February would line up. it just depends if they are the faster we hear the news, the better, because otherwise they have to like get a bunch of things sorted before they go back to filming. So everybody has to, like, writers, directors, writers assistants, all these things have to be in order. And between season 1 and 2, there was a lot of people that didn't come back or their roles changed. And I do know a couple of people that have already told me they're not coming back for season 2, and I have been speaking to a few people who are like, I don't want to say exactly what the relationship is because then it will be easy to it'll be like obvious who it is. But some of the people that are writers on the show now, I know they're not going to be back because of people who work with them have told me. So I'd be really interested to know, like, what's the situation with a lot of the writers, like, because if you're Leisha, Kate, Jennifer, like, your contract is like ironclad. Like, as long as the show's renewed, like, you are back on the show. Whereas people like Jamie Clayton, people that aren't regulars, theirs will be like a season by season thing. So like Stephanie Allen and Vanessa Williams, people like that. And they'll also go through like, oh, who's available, who's not. And then so say they go back in February, they write for 2 months, and then April they start filming again. Whereas I think I'm sure most people who are in here have listened to the pants episode that Marcia did the other day, and she said that they usually go into a season with like half the episodes written. So they're still writing, and of course, like when they're filming, they're always like tweaking and rewriting. If you listen to episode 8 of Drinks at Dana's, we had a guest on, Andrew, and he kind of talked a lot about working with Jennifer, Kate, and Leisha, and like how involved they are with the show and the storyline and things like that. And Marja also did say when I interviewed her that they do have a lot of input. Like Leisha was saying, she was the one who suggested to do that scene with Rosie talking about lesbian talk show hosts. So when they go back, they'll do about half the scripts and then they will start shooting. And I guess it just really depends who is coming back, how many new writers there are, and then there'll be things like the writer's assistants, like the writer's assistant from season 1, Catrielle, she came back and directed one, but there'll have been a writer's assistant from season 2, and they're always jigging people around. And it also depends, like Marja has a deal with Showtime, so Showtime could say to her, oh, we want to see something like Project B before we see another season of Gen Q. I don't think that would be the case. I think that they would expedite Gen Q. But Ash, please can you talk about the writers' room? Do we have writers assigned to each storyline, or is it a team of writers who write all the storylines together? So most writers' rooms like function the way that I've been told the Gen Q one does, that they will, so they sit down at the beginning of the season and they're like, okay, these are like, the big storylines for the season, like Bet and Pippa and Tess and Shane and Danny and Gigi. And they are all assigned episodes. And so they will sit, so like they say the first episode, week 1, everybody sits down and they say, okay, these are the things that we want to achieve in the episode. And they write like the big, subjects of the episode, like the one, so talking about the premiere, the big scenes and big things like Danny and Sophie's wedding, the rehearsal dinner, like big events like that, like Bet and Gigi and Tina and Carrie in the restaurant. And then they'll all like, go around and spitball about things, and then that writer will go away for X amount of times, sometimes a couple of weeks, and they'll write the first draft of the script. Now, some shows, they'll go away on like a little writer's retreat or something like that at the beginning of the season, and they talk about like the season overarching storylines, but I've never seen any evidence that Gen Q does that. And after the first draft comes back, usually another writer will go through it and like tighten it up, maybe change like a few little jokes or add some little lines. And then all the other writers will read it, go through it, and then they'll sit in like a group and like, tweak and things like that. And then usually the showrunner will go through, and I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming, because it's usually the way it works, is that then Leisha, Kate, Jennifer would probably like look through the script and see if there's anything, like maybe their scenes that they would tweak or add or anything like that. And then when they're shooting, like they will always be tweaking little things, and like, if something doesn't feel right, like Andrew said this when we interviewed him too, like it will be the writer, the director, and then depending on the way they do it, like sometimes the producers, like one will work with the writer and director who are on set shooting that time, and then the other one will be working with the director and writer who are editing the episode ahead of it, and then working with the writer who's working on the episode that's coming up. So that's generally how they do it. And then on set, like they'll just always be changing little things and tweaking them more. I'd say it's like mostly like one-liners and jokes and things like that get tweaked. It's never really like, big speeches or anything like that. Oh my gosh, my ash silver pumpkin like started to not look good. You start to get like a little deflated. So I have another one downstairs that I'm gonna do tomorrow, because I'm gonna do it with my cousin's kids. I'm gonna do a Miss G pumpkin with them, and then they sent me this one. Oh my god, that they want me to do. It's like because the most difficult thing, I'll show you. My cousins, their kids, like I mind them all the time and like babysit them, and they think it's like so cool that I have a YouTube channel and stuff, and they're always like asking me to do like fun things like this. So this is the one they want me to do with them. It's like a pumpkin in jail. Wait till I show you my sister's one. My sister did, and her husband did this. And then for anyone who didn't see my ash silver pumpkin, that was it. Oh, I'm Captain Marvel, and I have a leather jacket on the floor, but this is Captain Marvel. And then I have a little infinity gauntlet, but I took it off because I didn't want it to make loads of noise when I'm moving. But this is a full bodysuit, and I didn't realize it was so big because, like, obviously you guys know that I've been losing weight for like 2 years. But last Halloween I'd lost about 150 pounds, but I don't know, maybe like 180, because over the past year, like I've lost like another 80 or something. So I'm gonna get another one, because especially the arms are really big. Miss G is Goose, Captain Marvel's cat, but she's gone to bed. Yeah, I've seen it's it looks like I'm sorry to repeat again, but it's just like a bunch of people just joined. So the season 3 news is there really is no news, but I did say I'm pretty confident that they've made a decision this week because normally I speak to Showtime on Thursdays and they've never not responded to me, and they didn't respond to me this week. And then I spoke to Marja too, and she didn't say anything about season 3. And I specifically said to Showtime, like, and normally they come back like straight away and they're like, hey, no word yet, or blah blah blah. And yeah, they haven't said anything this week. It's very unusual that they don't reply. So I'm I'm pretty sure that they, or at least the decision's going on. And I think about a month after is when we would hear because that's when City on a Hill got renewed. And it has like a similar amount of, well, based on what we know, views of Gen Q. Do we know if Showtime would ever release scenes that never made it into season 2, or is it something they never do on principle? I hate to say this answer because I wish it was different, but I would be really shocked if they did release them just because Showtime never, ever release scenes. The only time anything has ever been released is the interrogation tapes, and they only did that because it was the end of the series. Like, we've never got bloopers, we've never got deleted scenes, and it is infuriating. It goes into the whole to do with their like licensing, and it's actually I should have my best friend from high school on here because she is a lawyer for Netflix, and she's straight and married with a child, but she absolutely loves the L word, and she just knows all about this stuff. And it's all to because Showtime's like, a pay for channel, and it goes into all this, but I don't understand. I understand maybe them not releasing it like on YouTube or something, but I don't understand why they won't release it on DVD because they could make if they put even just a handful of deleted scenes or bloopers, I would buy the DVD just for that. And it just is so silly that they don't because, I mean, there's shows like The Office that, like, they have entire YouTube channels that are, like, deleted scenes. Oh, yeah, I did see that this week, Tammy, the scene of Kate on the beach. There are a few little ones like that. I know there's some without, like, music and stuff, but yeah, it's so odd. I don't know. Maybe I'm constantly pitching myself to Showtime and Marja, so maybe I'll be like, I'll take over the DVD release. I have also told Jennifer Beals that I will take over the publishing of, of her book. They seriously, like, I do not know, like, why they can't get this together, but the marketing of the show in general is absolutely fucking terrible because, I mean, they even talked about, like, the picture that I have in the corner, the peach one, like, remember at the start of the season, they didn't put a trailer out till June, and the show was premiering in August. We knew nothing, like, there was no marketing whatsoever. And I literally am like, I have my own marketing company. I am here. I will do it. I'll do it for free. Come come over and let me do it. So, I don't understand why they could do a better job marketing, and they could do the DVD, and then that would be a lot better. So, yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. It just is infuriating because all they're like all they're doing is hurting themselves. It's it's really mind-boggling because some of I mean, even those little videos that we got, like the one I talked about this on Drinks at Dana's actually. So when I don't think I've told you guys this, but so when I spoke to Showtime about us doing something together, and I did that National Coming Out Day video. They when I first did it, like, it was I was so happy that they asked me, like, it was so cool, and Showtime have been nothing but absolutely wonderful to me, and when they asked me, like, like 5 or 6 weeks in advance, and they said to me, "Oh, if you're comfortable and everything, do National Coming Out Day and like tell your story." And they said to me that they were going to have 3 videos come out that day. And it was going to be, or maybe not 3 separate videos, but 3 stories. And the stories were going to be Finley, Gigi, and Micah. And it was going to be their coming out stories. And I do not know what happened because in my video, like at the end, because obviously I worked really hard on it and made it really far in advance because that it was like a really big deal for me. And in the video, like if you've watched it, it's on my channel now still. I say, oh, go over to Showtime because they're sharing um some things for National Coming Out Day. And I said, "Oh, I'm really looking forward to hearing Gigi's story because that's what they told me that Gigi, Finley, and Micah were going to like tell their coming out stories." So for them to have told me that, they must have filmed it because it was like all those actors were working on other stuff by the time they told me this. So I think like those videos that we saw for when they were like Happy Pride, and then they did the one where like Gigi's looking in the mirror and they're like, Tina's engaged, what the hell? And it's like a dark pink background, and they're all wearing the same clothes that they wore in like the if you go on Instagram, like the little happy pride emojis. So I think that day they filmed all the promos, and I think they filmed Finley, Gigi, and Micah's. So it must be somewhere that they have it. I don't know why they didn't release it. And they ended up just doing that little short video that's like Angie, Nat, Tina, and just like clips from the show. Yeah, season 1, they did a lot more marketing. I guess because like, obviously, like, they could only do so much with COVID and stuff, but yeah, even if I mean, like, I know Dexter is a bigger show, but, like, there's even now, like, there's way more stuff around Dexter. Yeah, so that was a weird situation. And then what else is going on? Um, Alicia and Kate are on break for a bit now, so I know they're gonna do some of those questions, um, for those, like the shows that they did, I guess it was a couple of months ago now, where they did like the Q&As, and then they'll be doing. I'm so excited for them to get to like the bad bad season of like season 3. I'm just it's gonna be hilarious, and I love the way they don't, like a lot of people would feel like obligated to be like, nice or something like that, but they're just like so truthful. Yeah, I honestly, like, in Drinks at Dana's, we talk a bit about Marja on pants, and I was gonna do a video. I've never done this before, but I started filming it, and then I just stopped, and I've never done that before because I'm just like, I do not agree with the things that are being done or said about that. So I'm like, there's no point in for me, like, just talking about something that people are being so negative towards. And to be honest too, like, I don't want more negativity about it. So, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and, you know, I don't think that there was anything hugely said either that she didn't say on in my interview. Like, yeah, obviously there was some additional stuff, like, it was a lot longer than mine, but like, Marja and Showtime and everybody has been nothing but super, super nice to me, and I really don't know any other showrunner that would talk to a little tiny YouTuber. So like, I just and I really like the show. I'm not saying it's perfect. I just made a video saying with the things that I didn't like. And Drinks at Dana's, we talk a lot more about things that I was like disappointed by or storylines that I don't think quite worked. So you guys will probably get to listen to that on Monday. Like, I just need to edit it. And yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the prediction video soon. Um I'm gonna go back. I've started going back through my old videos, and a lot of it, we were I mean, like, obviously, clearly, Helena was the big thing that was wrong. But I swear, I said this last week too, something happened there. I haven't got the full story yet, but something happened there, and it was all around, like, the pants thing, like, when she stopped being a producer for pants. Thanks, Brenda. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna do a prediction, go back through my old. Maybe I should do that on a live. Maybe that would be funnier. I don't know. I'm like, now let me look at oh my gosh, we haven't done a poll yet today. I'm sleeping on the job here. Um, any poll suggestions? Mm, thinking. Maybe we should. I'm think. I'm gonna look and see if there's. any of my like I'm gonna see how long because I know that I'm not a short writer. And oh yeah, a week on Sunday Dexter's out, so I'm gonna be doing that. And there was no Station 19 or Grace this week, or no, well, there was the morning show, but Laura and Bradley weren't in it. So I must have done. Where is? Oh, that video is quite long. Predictions and theories. Yeah, I'll have to go through them and like clip them because they're way too long. Hey Kenya, how you doing? Also, all the people saying Eileen to come back. There is no way in a million years that Eileen Chaikin would come back. She's one, she can't, like actually physically can't, because she's the showrunner of Law and Order. And before that, she was a show which is on NBC. And before that, she was a showrunner of Empire, which is on Fox. Those are like going to the L Word would be a huge step back for her. And she's the one who said, Marcia, you can do whatever you want. So I just don't think there's any chance of that. And yeah, Showtime and stuff are really happy too. So oh my gosh, yeah. When I rewatch Grey's, like I think it's now because Cali and Arizona like haven't been in Grey's for so long that I forget how good they are. Like and when I go back, I'm like, oh, yeah, I love them. I'm gonna be doing this thing on the channel probably starting next week. That's gonna be like I think I was gonna call it like Time Travel Tuesday or Time Travel Thursday, and I'm gonna talk about old episodes of Grey's or Orange is the New Black and things like that. And it will be, I'm not going to do every episode now. Well, Grey's Anatomy, I'd be here for 20 years, but it's going to be like big Cali and Arizona episodes or like Alex and Piper and earlier Maya and Karina ones. And if anybody has any other suggestions, definitely let me know. And then obviously I said I'm going to do Dexter too. Something scary good. ALSF normally I think it's normally a year after it starts on Showtime that it goes on Amazon. It's another one of those weird things with the licensing. So I think it would be like summer that it would go on Amazon. No season. Gee. No season 3 news, but I've been saying I think that a decision's been made because normally, um, when I ask Showtime, they respond to me straight away, and I send them an email on Thursday, and they haven't said anything, which is weird because they never not reply. Um, so Parisa said, "Does Showtime or the executive producers control what interviews the cast does?" It depends. I mean, it's most of the time it will be through like promotion of the so if they're promoting the show, then yeah, like Showtime will be like, "Oh, like remember in season 1 when Jennifer was going on like a lot of shows? I mean, like she is obviously the lead, but she's also like the biggest star in the show. So that's why they obviously like want to put her front and center. And then they'll have like Kate and Leisha, who, everybody who knows what the L word is knows them. And they will set like certain things up, like big, you know, I'm trying to think like some of the ones that like when Jennifer was on Ellen and like big ones like that, like yeah, it'll all be through the network and stuff. Um a lot of the stuff will be through like the managers and like things like that. And then there will be the occasional ones, like more the like LGBTQ stuff, because it's like quite like a small, not small, but like smaller than the usual like media world, that it's like it's more insular. So and there could be some of like Leisha and Kate like doing people that they like, or you know podcasts or something like that, where they actually know the people and they can set it up more easily, like through managers and agents and things like that. Yeah, what Sonia just said is what I think too. She said no news is usually good news, and that's also why I just think if they were gonna cancel the show, they would have just canceled it by now. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like why are they gonna drag this out a month and then a month later tell us, oh sorry, no. So I just yeah, I mean I've said from the very beginning, like I'm really confident and I'm not wavering in my confidence. Like I don't think this means anything. And as Showtime have said to me like a lot of times, like this is just the way they do things now. It's just different. And they Jess brought this up today on Dana's, that like they Showtime really don't have like a ton of shows at the moment. Like a lot of their stuff, like Shameless ended after a long time. And even though they have stuff like like Dexter is only a limited series, like so it's taking up a spot right now that it won't have next year. Yeah, Miss G is she's gone to bed. She came in here to do a lap and have a look what was going on, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm out." I noticed on Instagram that many Genie fans have requested a live podcast with Ari and Seppi. You think that maybe that could, given their popularity? Uh, yeah, I think it's probably more to do with I mean, like Seppi's filming something right now, so I think it's they're pretty busy. I mean, I've asked them a bunch if they would do drinks at Dana's or come on my channel or something, but I don't even know if they like they've got, because a lot of the time things like that it will be through their managers that stuff's set up. Like when they went to the um watch party, I'm sure like all that stuff was organized for them. And a lot of the time, like when I worked on that side of things, the actors, like, they're so busy and things have been so organized for them that they are literally just, like, scheduled for something, and they're not even aware of, like, well, not aware, but, like, they just know, "Oh, I've got 5 interviews today," and they won't be thinking like, "Oh, I've got an interview with Ellen, and then I've got one with Oprah," and then, like, it's just, "Oh, I've got 5 interviews," and then it's like boom, 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 really, really quick, and especially, like, now that it's through the computer and stuff, it's not as in person, and it's. Oh, yeah, what will our poll be today? Um, oh, I have an idea, I have an idea. And this is like oh. You can only have 4 options. So I said, which OG that hasn't been on yet would you prefer to have? Because so I said Tasha, Helena, Carmen, and Max, even though I know the Carmen thing wouldn't happen. Because like we know that Laura will be back, and she's already been on. And then Jenny, I don't think after the whole thing with Jenny that well, Mia Kirshner's got like, her own business and stuff now, so I don't think that she would go on. I've got like hair in my face. And obviously Dana, Kit, you know. No, they don't usually, because they have to when they renew, they're like that's the first thing that happens. So they have to go away and like write the series and everything like that before they'll know what the guest stars are. So they they usually like put out invites to people, like say, like okay, this season they had Rosie and they had Donald Faison and stuff. So while they're pitching like series or like season arcs and character arcs for that season, they'll, if they want big guest stars like Rosie or something, they'll pitch her an idea of saying, hey, do you want to come on and play, Tina's fiance and stuff like that. Oh, bye, Rosanna. Timekeeper for the show. Thanks. Yeah, hopefully next week we'll be talking about how excited we are for the renewal. Because oh yeah, this was one other thing that I was gonna say just about the Pants interview was, so when they were, and it's just relevant because I was talking about Jenny. When they were talking about Jenny and Marja said to Kate and Leisha, like, oh well, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something like, oh well, why do you think they would talk about her, or do you think they would talk about her or something? And listen, I'm not saying I know Marsha super well, but like I've talked to her a decent amount, and certainly more than like people who are angry about the interview on Twitter. And I've noticed that when she is talking about the show, that because she actually is like an original Elwood fan, she's interested in hearing what other people think about the show. And especially because she's the showrunner of Gen Q, that I don't know, like she just wants more information and likes talking to fans about the show. And even she did this in my interview, where I basically said like, "Oh, tell me everything about Bet and Tina," and then we were talking about the cliffhanger, and she was like, "Oh, what do you think happened there?" Like, she's not asking me that because she doesn't know. She's asking because she generally like is interested in hearing what I think of the scene. So I saw lots of people being like, "Oh, she had to ask them because she didn't know." And it's like, no, I think she was generally interested in what they were thinking about it. And I've noticed some other things, that some other times that I've talked to her, that there's been things like that she said because she's just generally interested and like looking at it from the side of being a showrunner and stuff, and interested in how people are interpreting the work. So yeah, I just thought that was something I wanted to say. Jay, I see you. I see you, buddy. Are you gonna come say hi? Gonna come say hi to everyone? Come on, they want to see your beautiful face. They want to see you. What are you doing? Hey, you being a naughty girl? You being a naughty girl? You want some treats, don't you? I know you do. You're making a little treat face. Don't stand on the keyboard, please. Jay. Come here. Hang on, Jay. We're just reading here. Oh, Miss G, look at all the kind compliments you're getting. Hmm? Aren't you so lucky? Oh my god, today when we were recording drinks at Dana's, G was like sitting in the window there, and anytime that she like would, because we were recording for hours, she would come in, and Chris was like, Miss G is the real star of everything. And yeah, she's been quiet today. She's not as talkative. She was real vocal for the finale because G is a really big Bentina shipper. So she was, she needed to get her feelings out about the cliffhanger. Oh, G, everyone's sending their love. She's literally sitting on the radiator. Warming your little belly. Okay, I'm gonna close the poll and then we can do another one. Ooh, Helena, resounding win. So Helena, then Tasha, then Carmen, then no one then vote for Max. But I think I've done a variation. Oh, also, does anyone have any good show recommendations at the moment? I am desperate for a good, like, I say bingeable show too, but I'm just desperate for something good to watch. Did you know I started rewatching? Freaking Lost. Like every like 7 or 8 years, I rewatch Lost because I remember Lost come like, I really loved Alias and J.J. Abrams, like, before he was, like, super well known, and then when he did Lost, I was like, "Oh, it's the Alias guy. Oh, awesome, okay." And I started watching it, and then I remember, like, when I was in school, like, it was, the big thing on TV, and it was so good, and every time I like 7 years goes by or 8 years, and I'm like, "Oh, I've forgotten how good Lost is." And then I start watching it and I'm like, "Oh, the show is great." And then right now I'm in like season 2, and that's when I always think this, but I know as the show goes on, I start to get angrier and then I remember, "Oh, this is why I haven't rewatched it in all this time," but I'm living in the season 2 bliss at the moment. Okay, this is probably controversial, but I'm saying, what was your favorite episode of season 2? And I put 4, 5, 6, and 9 because those are the episodes that most people tell me are their favorites. And if your favorite isn't there, because there's not a ton of us in here, then put the number of the episode just as its own comment, and then we can see. Oh, you started watching the morning show, Beth? Yes. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. And Bradley and Laura are adorable. I have been getting a bit annoyed because for anyone who doesn't know, Reese Witherspoon is playing I mean, we don't know whether she's lesbian or bi, so she's playing a queer character on the morning show, and her girlfriend is called Laura, and it's the person is played by Juliana Margulies. So I keep seeing all these interviews where the hosts are like basically saying, "Oh, you're straight and you're playing a gay character." And I would never speculate about someone's sexuality, but the way that Juliana answers the questions, like, she's not explicitly saying that she's straight, and all these people keep, like, pushing it and pushing it, and it's just really rude. Like, I don't think that to get a job, which, like, at the end of the day, that's what this is for her, she's an actress, and you shouldn't have to be, like, disclosing what you do in the privacy of your own home, because surely the place that we're trying to get to with, like, acceptance of same-sex couples is that me saying I'm a lesbian is the same as, me saying, "Oh, I've got blonde hair," compared to someone who's brunette. Like, it's just a descriptor. It's not like, a big deal. And yeah, I really don't like, because they keep saying, like, all the lesbians that I have seen talking about the morning show are really happy and like Juliana Margulies. So I don't like that there's all these people acting as though it's lesbians that are up in arms when the lesbians are happy, and it's all these, straight people aggressively asking her about it and asking about her sexuality. It's just a little rant for you all. But bottom line is, if you haven't watched the morning show, missing out. Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell, Juliana Margulies, Poppy from the L Word. I mean, it is a treat for the ladies who like ladies. Oh, yeah. See, I think I am gonna start The Deuce purely for the aesthetic of Septimorphy. Because she is my girl. Yes, Kinky 2, Station 19, and Succession. Succession is amazing. It is aggressively straight, but it's so good. It's so good. Like one of the best shows on TV if you're looking for something. The third season just started, and there's only 10 episodes in season 1 and 2. Oh, yes, I have that on my list. I'm gonna watch The Chair. Ooh, quite a few people watching The Morning Show. I love it. Which I'm sure there is because it's on Apple and it's got like, hello, Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell in the two of the best, most well-loved comedy shows ever. And Reese Witherspoon is a literal Oscar winner, and then Juliana Margulies from one of the two best medical dramas. So yeah. Oh, Succession is on HBO, or in the UK, it's on Sky Atlantic. Succession is so. Do you know the Rupert Murdoch, his family that owns like all the media things? Everybody, well, not everybody, but like a lot of people say um it's based on them. So this is like literally my dream right now, being able to just like talk about TV shows that I like. And so it's about this family basically. And the dad is Brian Cox, who is an amazing actor. And he is like this media mogul. He owns this huge empire. They're like literal bajillionaires. They're so rich. Like they take a helicopter like we would take like a taxi. And so he owns like all these news corporations. He owns like this cruises, like just this huge empire. And then he has 4 adult kids. And one of them is played by Kieran Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's brother. And it's 3 boys and a girl, 3 men and a woman and each of the kids are like he is an absolute like psychopath narcissist, super like old rich white man patriarchy bullshit. And the kids are like all working in the company, like who will take over Succession from him, and he's not ready to like relinquish control yet. And like each of the kids is like totally like rich person fucked up, and it's just so good. Like it's so well written. Like it is, I think, the best written show on television. And it's just amazing. It's so clever, so funny. There's twists, turns, and I guess like I really like it a lot too because it operates and like I went to school with people who are like this, like super just like uber, money and stuff. And I also think that it's funny because it's like like, at the end of the day, it's like family and business all mixed together and like, you know, cohabiting nightmare. And there's a cousin that has come into it too, and the cousin's kind of like a fish out of water because he's like kind of a normal person in this world. And sometimes it really reminds me of my family company because like I mostly work with my uncle and cousins, and like I'm the normal cousin that that comes in and is like, what is going on here? So it reminds me of like myself sometimes because everybody else is like, I don't know, like shopping for their third home. And I'm just like, dee dee dee. I'm a normal human. But it's so good. The acting, everything about it, the writing is particularly awesome. Yeah, oh my god, the money they have spent, Lisa, is insane. Peter said, "How are the ratings for the Elwood Generation Q?" Well, we don't actually know because um Showtime, I mean, no, I don't think there's anyone who does actually release. Nobody releases their streaming numbers, because, well, like Netflix kind of does, but not really. And so because it's a predominantly a streaming show, you have no idea because last season, streaming was accounting for about 25% of their audience share, but last season they were hitting like about 1,000,000 an episode. This season, they're obviously hitting way, way less because the episode was airing like 4 days after it had been released on streaming. And I mean, let's do an experiment. Okay, episode 9. See that's what I've been saying. Episode 9, I enjoyed the most because it was like the OGs all together. Why don't the poll work? Okay. This is the other thing that all these people that say things on social media about the show and streaming. Okay, what I was gonna say is all these people who say things on social media about the show and saying, "Oh, not like I think this, I think that," but like the way people say, "Oh, the ratings are low," or stuff like that. It's just people are basing these things on either their own opinion, or their own bias, or the bias of their opinion and their small group of people that they interact with because the ratings were low, but that's because everybody's watching it on streaming. And like I'm in a really unique position because I'm the only person probably like in the L word sphere, like fan, whatever you want to call it, that has access to my own unique data because everybody else who has access to anything like this is associated with the show. Whereas my channel, everybody comes to this channel to talk about the L word. And of course, now that the show's not on, like my channel isn't as busy as it was. Like I've got super awesome, amazing, loyal people, like exactly the people are in here right now. And but when the show was on, like those 8 or 10 weeks that the show was on, like my channel got more than 2 million views. Like it was insane. There was tons and tons of people, and not only were all those people viewing the videos, but they were all leaving their opinions, thoughts, everything in the comment section. So not only was I getting the actual raw data of, oh, if I put a video up that has Gigi and Danny on the thumbnail, it does way more view. It's, not even arguably more successful than if I put Finley and Sophie on a thumbnail, or if I use keywords and things like that, where you're able to use this data to actually see things and see what's going on. And even by the episodes, like, oh, when they had the karaoke episode, or when Bet and Gigi got together, the episode where Danny and Gigi kissed, those were all by far like the videos that did the best for me, because more people watch those episodes, when more people enjoy the episode, they're more likely to go on social media and to watch my channel or go on my Instagram or whatever. So like, I'm happy to share like my data with anyone, because the like YouTube statistics, it's insane what you can know about the audience. Like, the I have like ages, like demographics, where people are in the world. And that's the other thing, like, I think about 40% of my audience is US, so you have to take into account all the rest of those countries are interested in like watching my channel, even though they're not going to be making up like Showtime viewing numbers. So I find it so interesting. But and like Alex, you know, Alex, that she has her own YouTube channel too, and she does like reactions and stuff. And then you guys know that I'm good friends with Evelyn Dar too. So it's really interesting when we all like talk about like what works better for one of us and does it work for all of us and stuff like that, because we're like obviously all like lesbian YouTube people. Yeah, it's weird about the UK because the L Word, actually, not just the L Word, it's any Showtime show. Like, I've never been able to find out what exactly it is, but there is some sort of licensing agreement with Showtime in the UK, because that's an issue, because every other show and every other network in the UK, so like Succession that's on HBO, we get it in the UK at exactly the same time as the US, like exactly. And anything that's not Showtime, we get it the same time as the US. But Showtime shows don't come out for months until after they've been finished airing. Like, it's so weird. Oh no, it wasn't good, Tanya. I haven't. Oh, actually, Chris was talking about that, or Chris or Jess were talking about that today. That Wakefield. I think I've got glitter in my eye. Oh, Flint, we are just talking about, I was saying about some shows that I've been doing on the channel, like Succession and The Morning Show, and oh, I'm sorry, Dexter comes out a week on Sunday. Oh, it doesn't matter on Hulu or a Showtime if it's a I use a my car. Oh, maybe it's because 'cause I'm in the Isle of Man because, and I know Tammy has Hulu too. I just used VPN on Hulu. Um, if anybody doesn't have a good VPN, I can give you a link for, mine because it's good, it doesn't detect it. Oh, thanks, Valerie. Um, what else was I gonna say? I can't remember. Like this thing is like keeps. It used to be like a bodysuit, and now it's like like the baby grows that babies sleep in. It's like one of those. And then I've got glitter in my hair. I'm just a mess today. Yes, that is probably, I was thinking about when you suggested that to me about doing that next season because Stan in Australia, they get it at exactly the same time, and it's cheaper to have Stan than to have Showtime. But because, oh my god, when the finale came out, remember? Oh my god, what a disaster that was whenever it wasn't there and everybody was freaking out. And there's me like emailing Showtime, this is an emergency. Yeah, see only 10% of people in I know this is in this chat said that they viewed it live, which I'm guessing that even my channel, it would usually be, and I'm making assumptions here. People who watch my channel, I would say, probably are more likely to watch it live because my channel has quite a older demographic. Like, it's more likely that someone who comes to my channel based on like the data that I see, that they are 35 plus than under 35. And obviously, mostly people in like their teens and 20s are more likely to stream something than people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, blah, blah, blah. So, because I can tell you, my demographic, I think my biggest audience share is like 40 plus. It's 90.6% female. And then 60% of my audience is 35 plus, and 30% is 25 to 34. Only 14% is under 24. Oh, I use Express, Jacques, too, but the one that I find is really good to use, that doesn't get detected a lot is private VPN because they're not like like Surfshock and Express are huge, and I've used private VPN for probably over 10 years, maybe I think about 12 years, and I've like never ever had an issue. Yeah, I remember that, because I've got, like, quite a few Canadian viewers, like Lynn's in Canada, and I know that I think they get it on Monday in Canada. Women's soccer team that survived a plane crash, ooh. Oh, yeah, kinky, yeah. I think the clocks go back today, do they? Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah, they do, yeah, yeah. It's been so dark and so rainy and so cold this week. Oh my god, the rain has been insane. I did get, I don't know whether anybody saw I was gonna show you guys a picture. My story on Thursday, um, I took a picture when I was going out with my friends because I went out with my 5, best friends, and we all haven't been together since I moved to New York in 2016 because one of us has always been missing, and, all of us live here except one, and she was over she lives in London now, and she was over, this week, so we had a really nice meal, all of us hanging out, and I got this new coat. Let me know what you guys think because I've always had this idea in my head about this coat, like this style. It's like a Mac, and I always thought like, "Oh, this is like a business lady coat," and, I was wearing it with, like, a scarf and things, and I don't know whether it's just because 'cause I'm, like, really short, but I was like, "Do I look like a garbage disposal person in this?" And see the type of coat it is? Like, and it always reminds me of, like, Rachel from Friends. I'm trying to find the other picture I took. Where is it? See, it's like that color and style, so I really liked it. But I can't, start using you guys as like a this is this at dinner. And then I put on my Facebook or, on my Instagram, this is us at school. And I couldn't believe some people were, like, asking they were, like, asking which one was me. I think like, that's me. I think that I look exactly the same, but just with blonder hair. Oh, Yellow Jackets, is that good? I think I remember maybe it was Beth, did you say that last week about Yellow Jackets? I feel like you did or someone else did maybe. Someone suggested it. Flynn, thank you for the super sticker. I need to check which sticker. Ah, little man. Thank you so much. You're the best. Oh yeah, it's so fun. I really I mean everybody has their stuff in life, but the one place I really did luck out in life is with my friends. Like I really did. I have like the best friends in the world, and we've been friends literally like nearly my entire life since I was like 10. We've been friends, and yeah, they're just like the best. And there oh yeah, I was, when I put that picture up, like, a few hours later, one of my friends, she sent me a message and she was like, "Oh, all your Instagram followers seem to be loving the picture hash." And I was just like, "Oh, this is so cute that she's saying that." But they're so like supportive of my YouTube channel and things. They're just the best. Oh, I guess the other thing I was gonna mention is about what Laurel said this week about her show, because I'm sure there's some people who are planning on going. Savage, Melody, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for the super stickers. I need to see which one they are. Oh, thank you so much, Melody and Savage. You guys did like a double whammy there of kindness. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Helping the channel become the crystal clear image that it is. Thank you. So yeah, Laurel put a thing on Twitter, I think, about the COVID cases in the UK going up. So I mean, I this time between now and then that I think that they'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. I mean, if they rearranged again, it would be, oh gosh, it would be a nightmare because it's quite close to it now too. Like we're not that far away. I am I spoke to my aunt, like, she lives, well, some of the time she lives in London, and, she was like, I was talking to her about it, and I was like, "Ooh, just keep in mind that it might," you know? Parisa, thank you so much for the super sticker. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. What is that? Oh, thanks to the little guy. Thank you, Parisa, thanks. I never have seen the little, it's Taiwan that you live in, isn't it? Checking the Yeah, Brenda, it's the same here on the Isle of Man because, well, like I am the last person in the effing world who will ever get COVID because I I have no children. The only kids I see are like my best friend's kids who are really little and don't go to school, and you know, like I'm not seeing them like every day, and I don't go into an office. I Most of my like friends I only see at the weekend, and I see like the same friends or like, you know, the occasional weekday thing like that. And I just during the week, I really, really don't see a lot of people. Like, I go to the shop, but, like, I'm not touching people in the shop, and yeah, like, most of the time, I'm literally this is me in here working and, you know, doing YouTube and stuff too, and, like, that's my hobby is YouTube. So, you know, like, that doesn't involve seeing any other people in real life. Oh, Teresa, that's such a nice comment. Thank you so much. And you have created a beautiful community of friends here. Much love from India. Oh, thank you. That's sweet. Kinky, thank you so much. You are the best. Thank you so much. You guys are being so sweet. Thank you. This little man is getting quite the quite the evening workout. This little green man. I don't know what his name is, but yeah, he's enjoying himself tonight. Thank you, Kinky. Oh, bye, Kenya. Didn't see you go there. My dad's wife did get COVID like 3 weeks ago. You remember I was talking about how I went to see James Bond? There we only have two, well, we have like one cinema here, and then we have like a really tiny one that's like it's literally like right here. Um, the big one is like one decent screen and then like a small one. So we really don't have a great situation with cinema here. But James Bond was showing at both places, and there wasn't one seat in the whole place. But and then we saw it on the Sunday, and then on the Monday, she tested positive, and but luckily, like, I wasn't sitting next to her, and I don't really, like, have much to do with her. So, I did, like, a test every day for a week just to make sure, but, yeah, it was all good. So, I don't know, it seems to be going, because before, like, we really, really were not affected at all here. Like, we had like a few, blips of like 6 weeks or 8 weeks where we would go into lockdown, but we had like months and months of no cases and like nothing at all. And then because obviously we're a really, really small island, there's only like 70,000 people who live here. So, which is crazy to think sometimes, because some of, like, I know this is like really self-centered to say, but sometimes when one of my videos will get like more than 70,000 views, I always think, God, that's more people than live here. But it just it really didn't affect us loads. So because we're so small, we were able to all get vaccinated pretty quickly. And so once our vaccination rate got to like 70%, I think, they kind of just were like, okay, like, and we've never had like any mandates or anything like that. So I do, when I go into like places, I will wear a mask and stuff, because I'm worried that if I had it, I would give it to someone. But I really, like, I'm the last person that ever that I just don't really interact with that many people. Oh, Beth, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, well, if she was 95, then I hope she had a really, really great life. And I'm sure she did if she had a nice daughter like you. My nana passed away in December, like it'll be a year this year, and she was 100, and we haven't been able to like have her funeral yet because my family is insanely huge, and like my nana was like the matriarch of the family, and I'll put a picture up of her on my social media, because she is the baddest bee on the block. And like I have all, like, our thing was, because she would always tell me I'm like her favorite, and there's like literally I think there's 60 of us all together, and grandchildren, great grandchildren, and her and I, like, anytime we would go anywhere, we would take like selfies together with our sunglasses on, and she's like this tiny little 100-year-old woman, and she's just amazing. Like, she had 7 kids, no washing machine, and in Northern Ireland in the 60s, 70s, 80s, when it was really dangerous. And she is just, oh my God, she's amazing. And she ran the whole ship, everything. And when the World War II was going on, she actually used her sister's ID because she was only 14 and her sister was 16 so that she could be a nurse. And she's just like a badass. And she so when I was younger, like she would always ask me like about oh, do you have a boyfriend or something? And I would never say anything. And then when I was 18, I came back from the US for like a trip, and I brought my girlfriend at the time with me, and literally and like we had like 5 other friends with us too, and literally from the first time that she ever met my girlfriend, like I didn't say this is my girlfriend or anything. She never ever again ever asked me about boyfriends or anything like that. And then sometimes she would say to my cousins, like, we'd all be, like I wouldn't be there, and my cousins would be like talking about their kids or something like that, and my nana would always be like, Ashley's the only sensible one out of the lot of you. She doesn't have any these men bothering her. And she used to say all stuff like that, but she's amazing. I'm gonna show you a little picture of her. But yeah, to because obviously, like, my nana lived in Northern Ireland, so I used to go, like, every other month to go and see her, and her and I literally, I would go for, like, a weekend, like, every 8 weeks or something, and I would go to her house, and I would, like, make her favorite food, and, like, I'd always, like, get us, because she sold, like, DVDs and stuff, and I'd always get us, like, movies to watch and stuff, and she loved it. And she kind of had that thing where, like older people sometimes they don't realize that things are like computer animated. And anyone in the UK, if you remember that ad that used to have the little Shetland pony where it would like jump on the fence and it would be like doing flips and stuff. And she used to always say to me, anytime it was on, she'd be like, how do you think they get that little pony to do that? I'd be like, I don't know. Which is so funny. But yeah, and that like to not be able to go and see her and stuff. And then because of all this, it's just, ugh. Yeah, Miriam, now I live in the Isle of Man, which is like not really the UK, but UK adjacent. Oh, Beth, that's sweet. Your mom's lucky to have you. Oh, Melody, I'm so sorry to hear your mom too. My my mom was 49 when she died, and like I was saying, my dad is the youngest of 7, and there's 3 boys, my aunt, and then 3 boys. So out of the 6 boys, all of them except 1, all of their first wives died before any of them were, I think, 60. Like, none of us, like, in I'd say silver, as insert my last name, silver, kids, like all of us like had mums die when we were like teenagers, 20s. My brother was only like 11. Yeah, Lisa, yeah, I remember you telling me about your sister. Sorry to hear that too. It's, oh god, it's just kinky. You stay safe if you're working in the hospital. Happy Halloween too, Jade. Sorry, Jade, reading wrong. Oh, Peter, I'm glad you were vaccinated then, because oh God. Oh, Flint, thank you so much for the super sticker again. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, that's sweet. That's for everyone who lost somebody. Oh, thank you, Flint. That's really sweet of you. Yeah, that's why my brothers like I mean, like my mom. Um, I don't like really talk about this a lot, but like my mom had a lot of mental health like things too. So my brother's always been like my little son because my dad is like my dad had the first ever uh, internet gaming site like way back in the 90s, and people like gambling thing, and people used to tell him all the time like when because it was the first internet company to float on the London Stock Exchange, and whenever that like was going on and they're like trying to raise money for like the IPO and stuff, people would always say to him like, people are never gonna gamble on the internet. Like, no way. Internet gaming? That's insane. Now look. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. Like having that's why I'm always like having this show and other like, things on social media or things on TV and movies and stuff. Like it is nice to have those forms of escape and and just to have some like anything about the L word or like us all coming and like talking about the show, and like I always think about all of us like right now just talking and like in comments and messages and Instagram and all that stuff, like that is all so much positivity in my life, like having all these new friends and relationships and conversations that I would have never had with people who enjoy the thing that I enjoy. And I always like that is why I do like to be so positive about the show, and it is something that I love because it's so easy to be critical. Like I could sit here and absolutely tear it to shreds, but it's like I feel like people who have nothing but bad things to say about something, like there's something deep rooted in you that like maybe your life isn't going good or things are tough, because I just can't imagine like wanting to so viciously attack something, like, and I don't mean people, saying, "Oh, I didn't like this or I didn't like that." Like I mean the people who are really vicious about the show. And if that's their prerogative, that's fine. The thing that I don't get is the people also that attack people who like the show, because it's like, are you really getting so bent out of shape over the fact someone else likes a show or someone else is watching it? And everybody has different opinions, and if somebody's favorite character is like I always say Wheezy, then like that absolutely has no bearing on my life or my connection to the show. And it's like it's cool, like who cares? And these people that like are actively trying to damage the show or what, like, get people fired or whatever, it's just like you that's what you really want to do, is to get someone fired, lose their job, lose their livelihood, someone who has a wife and small child over a TV show. And it's, yeah, it's, I mean, I could talk way more about all this, but I think that there's absolutely ways to critique something and say, like, nobody expects everybody to like everything and like every character, but and as I've said, I think there are things that there could be vast improvements made to Gen Q, and there are some things that I wish were changed or I didn't like this season, but I'd way rather focus on the good and the things that I like about the show, because I mean, in general, I feel that way about most shows I enjoy, but also I feel as though I owe a great debt to the L Word, because it's given me not only like my channel and stuff, but given me all these great relationships with all of you that I really, really treasure. So I don't know. I'm always gonna be an L Word apologist. So now that I'm I'll be a everybody apologist. Thanks, Melody. So yeah, G's come in here. She heard the word bet and she was like, "Oh, time to make my entrance." But I have rambled on enough for this evening. So unless you guys have any last wonderings, questions, thoughts, feelings, and anyone who's watching this, I always forget to say this, but anybody who's watching this on replay, thank you so much for watching on replay. Yeah, exactly, Flynn. It's not perfect, but it's entertainment. Yeah, Miss G's like, get downstairs and get my treats, bitch. And what's today? It's Saturday today. So yeah, next week, Dexter starts. Listen, next week, next Saturday, next live, we have to have some news. We have to. We have to have our season 3 renewal. Otherwise, oh my god. Jess and Chris and I were saying today when we were recording Drinks at Dana's, I was like, this is how confident I am. I haven't even thought about what would happen if the show is cancelled, but I don't want to put that vibe out there, but oh my god. Yeah, I'd turn on the camera and be like crying. So yeah, keep sending out the positive vibes, good thoughts, and hopefully this time next week I will get some poppers that work. Anyone who is an old subscriber will remember what I'm talking about. My popper didn't work, and yeah, there's all the other shows I'm still covering. As I said, I am working on a little special thing at the moment. That'll be like a long form video, and there is L Word connection, and I am doing the Christmas special advent calendar thing again. So it's basically every day in December 1st through 26th, I release a video every single day. And it's like a challenge to me. So I'm excited about it. But if you have a good name, it's going to be like a lesbian advent calendar, basically. So it'll include like all our favorite characters and ships. So if you have a good name, let me know. And if you have a specific character or couple or something or show that you don't think that I know about, let me know too, and we'll include it in that. And in general, anything, let me know. Thoughts, feelings, watch Succession, watch The Morning Show, watch Station 19 and Grey's and Dexter. I'm covering all of them. And as always, I know we got a little personal and chatty today, which I hope that's cool. So keep putting those positive vibes out there for season 3. You guys are the absolute best. You are the best subscribers in the world, and I love you so much. And thank you to everybody who came and to all the people on replay. And huge thank you to our super sticker contributors. You got, oh, Ari's favorite show is Succession. The woman has good taste. The woman has good taste. So stay safe, everybody, especially stay wrapped up and warm, Miss G style, with your radiator and your blanket and your heater. And I'll see you next week, next Saturday. Maybe we'll go over some prediction videos. That's what we'll do next week. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Be good. I love you. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.